statements called aphorisms or sutra. In the sutra form, he wrote 96 sutras, which is broken down into 4 chapters. This is the Shastra. That is the first authentic text on yoga available to us. And of course, later on, lot of intelligent, known saints who are enlightened have also written the commentaries. So then you have the Bhashya on that. And the most famous and the ancient Bhashya available to us is that of Maharshi Vedvyas. Vyasa has written the Bhashya on the Yoga Sutra. So that is the first commentary on the yoga. Then of course there are many others who have come in. There is Bhikshu, then there is Vignan Bhikshu is there, then Aranya is there. Aranya's Bhashya I find extremely, okay, you say difficult. Vignan Bhikshu isn't any less in that matter. If you look at, in that case, look at Aranya's Bhashya, along with this one, Hariharanand Aranya's Bhashya. Then who has written on it? His disciple has written his explanation on the difficult portions of his explanation. So that makes it very, very clear and very practical. In that case, Swami Ram, comparatively recent person who has written his interpretation on the sutra, that is very easy. I think at this point I will not say it's a very good compilation again. This is also a compilation of some lectures given by Dr. Jayadev, the current director of the Yoga Institute at Santa Cruz. Again, this is not exactly his commentary. That has yet to come. But he teaches Yoga Sutra in the Yoga Institute, where this is his, in the 7 months teachers training course. And sutra by sutra the thing goes on. And over a period of time, some senior sadhakas have collected and compiled all his lecture, tried to make some meaningful sense out of it, and published it as a book. Some more work is going on to produce it in an exact form as Dr. Jayadev would himself. But a living yogi whom you can go to, the name, the Yoga of Patanjali, Yoga Sutra of Patanjali by Dr. Jayadev. Dr. Jayadev. Best is to say Santa Cruz Yoga Institute publication. Yes. This was the only publication on that. Okay. So there is a very simpler version available to us to start understanding. And of course, Vivekananda Ashram has a small thin book which gives simple meaning of the sutras without the Vyas Bhashya. Okay, fine. So this is about the text from which we are drawing our knowledge, understanding and information from. It says the 3 types of pain are because of the predominance and subsidiary nature of the gunas. When the gunas are in balance, which is the most elemental particle of which anything is made, whether it's energy or it is matter, it is made up of the 3 gunas. And if these 3 gunas are in a state of balance and equilibrium, there is no pain. When this balance is lost, then one is more, another is less. So maybe sattva is more, or rajas is more, or tamas is more. That is why we call certain thing as being sattvic, rajasic or tamasic. Anything when we find that it is either sattvic, rajasic or tamasic, that means it is painful. And it is a source of pain to us. We ourselves are composed of the 3 gunas. So we are also pain. Aren't we pain for others? Just as others cause pain to us, we cause pain to others. This is the play of the gunas. So this play has to come to a standstill. When the 3 gunas are in a state of equilibrium, that is called the yoga state. Now, what has this got to do with therapy? When we say therapy, that means there is a disease, means there is an imbalance, and you want to seek balance. In the medical science, we look at these 4 stages in a disease condition. First we have to identify what is the nature of the disease, what the disease is, recognize that, and then find out its cause. We carry out pathology test and blood test and whatever other tests we go through and all that. And then the course of treatment is decided as to, okay, this is the bad condition, this is the condition that has to be achieved, that entire path has to be traced, and some action has to be taken. Medicines has to be taken, injection has to be taken, rest has to be taken, diet has to be taken care of, all the remedies for it. That's what happens in a medical treatment, in a medical scenario, disease. The same thing happens in a yoga therapy. The terms used are heya, heya hetu, hana, hanopaya. Meaning the same, these four things. Heya is the pain, that which has to be discarded. The disease, the imbalance, that has to be ignored, avoided, left. Heya hetu, the cause. Why did this imbalance occur? Yes? We try to find out, no? Why are you having fever? It is the malarial parasite, or it is a typhoid, or it's a virus. Yes? So, heya hetu, what is the cause of that pain? So there is pain and there is cause of the pain. Han and hanopaya. Han is the balanced condition, the freedom, the ultimate that has to be achieved. Yes, which has been lost, and the hay has happened. And to reach this hana, the balanced condition, the remedy is hanopaya. Some upaya. To reach han upaya has to be carried out. And what is that? Therefore yoga. Just to explain the four words first, and then get into the details of each of them. Heya, heyam, dukkham, anagatam, says Yoga Sutra 16 from chapter 2. Heyam, dukkham, anagatam. It is possible to avoid the pain that has yet to come. In the medical disease science, what do? पहले बीमार हो जाते हैं, खूब अच्छे से तकलीफ पा लेते हैं, फिर डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं, कि I am suffering, remove this, yes, and then वो डॉक्टर बोलता है कि अभी 3 दिन आराम करो, नहीं काम पर से छुट्टी नहीं मिल सकता, काम पर तो जाना ही है, इंजेक्शन दे दो, then we go and increase the pain, yes, till we reach a condition where we have to be hospitalized. Then we can't do anything. Even if the work is there, we have to just leave it. And so what we are trying to do is, we're just trying to correct the symptoms. What yoga is saying is, what is already occurred in the present, that you'll have to go through. You'll have to live through. Suffer the consequences. This is what is happening, is a consequence. The symptoms, when they were there, probably you could have attended to it. But once the symptoms have arisen also, actually a lot cannot be undone. It is necessary to have gone through it, because its roots are in the past. In the past, if something has happened, that in any case cannot be corrected. Yes, as a child, you had suffered some problem in the throat. You had lost your voice, and it got recovered also. Now you are able to speak very clearly. Not only that, you can sing. Can you cure that? No. That had occurred, it was treated, and you have recovered from it. You can't do anything about that. So, you cannot do anything about pain that is in the past, pain that is in the present. But what is possible to do is to avoid the pain that has yet to come. What is the pain we are talking about here? Tritap. Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, and Adhyatmik. Those higher kinds of pain also. And pain that is caused due to us is in our body and in our mind, which we are talking about as medical science ka diseases. So that is included. And if it has already occurred, it is something that you have to go through. And yes, of course, make efforts to come out of it as the earliest possible. but at the same time you have to suffer it. That is the fact. Having suffered it, if we are the real student of the therapy of freedom,